If you are avoidant, I wanted to offer a perspective shift for you that might be super helpful. One thing that I think avoidants really struggle with in relationships is starting to feel like they are not good for their partner. This is largely because avoidants struggle so much with conflict, which means that they're not communicating with their partner and not resolving the little hurdles that happen along the way. And so this builds up layers and layers of shame for the avoidant until they start to feel like they cannot be enough for their partner and that their partner deserves more, and that if they stay in the relationship, they're just going to hurt their partner and string them along. And so they decide to make the decision for both of you that they are just going to leave the relationship because you deserve more. In a sense, what the avoidant is doing here is trying to guess what the other person needs, basically. Like, oh, well, I don't think that you need my type of person in your life. I can't be enough for you, and so I'm going to leave. Or in 2 years, if I'm still at this place, I'm going to be stringing you along, and that's not fair to you. So in a sense, the avoidant is kind of like trying to choose what is best for their partner. So I want to read you this comment from Reddit because I thought it was so fucking good. One thing I think is difficult for dismissive avoidants to figure out, it was for me, is that you are not in charge of what is good for another person. If you think being with this person is or will be good or bad for you, that is what you should be acting on. They are the one who gets to decide if it's good or bad for them. I used to abruptly leave relationships because I knew I couldn't give people what they needed, and it seemed morally right to leave and not drag things out. I still believe I was right about what I was or wasn't capable of, but the abrupt leaving devastated them, and it wasn't my job to make the decision for them without their input at all. It might even relieve some of your own stress and anxiety to accept that what is best for them isn't your responsibility. Treating them as well as you can is. Making decisions for them because you think something is in their best interest is not. One thing that seems to really help in my current relationship is to say I need time, and specifically for how long. It's difficult to forecast when you'll feel regulated enough to participate in the relationship again, and it still seems triggering for my boyfriend, but not as much as when I just shut down without communicating that I just need X amount of time. I thought this was really amazing advice for avoidance, to not take it upon yourself to decide what is best for your partner. If your partner is still in the relationship and still fighting to be in the relationship with you, chances are the good is outweighing the bad. They still want to be with you and they are still finding value in the relationship with you. Now, that doesn't mean the avoidant has to stay if they are not happy. The avoidant needs to focus on how they feel and not how the other person might feel. Because how the other person might feel kind of causes the dismissive avoidant to feel like they need to leave. So avoidants should really look inside and ask themselves, am I happy with this person? Does the good outweigh the bad? Do I want to stay in this relationship? Removing any thought about the other person or what they're going through, do I like being in this relationship? And then from there, the dismissive avoidant, if they do choose to stay in the relationship, they need to take the second step, which is to start voicing a little bit of how they feel. Like this person said, hey, I'm feeling a little triggered. I need to take a little time to myself. This is when I'll be done taking time to myself, or kind of around when I think I'll be done taking time to myself. It's not about you. I just need to take a little space. I think avoidants would be surprised at, if they just offer a little bit of reassurance to the anxious partner, how much smoother things might go. Because the upset nature of the anxious person is all stemming from feeling completely neglected by the avoidant. And so if the avoidant can start to offer just a little bit more reassurance, the anxious person's triggers will die down a little bit, which will also trigger the avoidant a lot less.